Where do we begin?
I
The
don't
triathlon.
even know.
All right.
Yes.
That's still going.
Wine Festival. Wine Festival is the one I'm working on right now.
Okay, Wine Fest.
That's a little bit new in that they're still doing the stuff at the White Elephant, but they usually do those culinary tents that have been at Children's Beach. They've been at Nantucket Yacht Club. It's where they have the cooking demonstrations and stuff like that.
That thing is blown up.
So we've moved that. It's going to be in the upper parking lot at Jetties this year. So we're working with them on that. They were at White Elephant Villages, and of course the construction there is not going to allow them to be there. So they're looking for where they're going to move to next. We like that. It's easier. We can do some shuttles and folks like that. There's some parking. The restaurant hopefully will open that weekend too as well. So, and it's kind of out of downtown a little bit, which takes some of that traffic. We've talked to them. We had a good meeting after the Wine Festival last year about, respecting the community, stuff like that, and, kind of toning down some of it.
Yep.
Having respect for the community and also sharing with us what works they do with nonprofits or what they donate back to the community. I think one thing I've talked to all the festivals about is that we need to understand how you give back to the community. That's going to help folks.
Right.
Or do something that brings the community in more that they can afford, whether it's Nantucket Project where folks can't afford to go to that, but have some opportunities for them to attend. Film Festival's doing a party at the at Cisco this year. So that's going to allow locals to come and do that as well. So, we've kind of been plugging that a lot.
All right. They're all growing though.
Well,
or no, maybe the Film Festival has gotten quieter.
Yeah.
It had its crescendo.
I think we've told everyone, well, especially Wine Festival, you're as big as you're going to get.
I see. So that's it, yeah.
We would prefer it
That's
not.
big, though.
It is big. And that's why I feel a little bit better about having some of these events at Jetties where it's a little more contained and something that we can deal with, and it's not crushing on downtown as much. But it's something that's very positive, too, in the spec that a lot of the retailers, that's one of their best weekends.
Yeah.
So I want to understand that helps the retailers as well. So we're trying to work with them, but I don't think nothing new that's huge. We don't have the resources for it.
Yeah.
You have to understand when we need details and when there's, street closures and everything else on top of everything else, we just do not have the resources. By June, half of these guys are, have already worked 7, days a week. So.
And last night at the meeting, we were talking about putting banners up.
Yes.
There's controversy over who's allowed to put a banner up downtown.
I might have started that. It started a couple years ago when I was doing events for the Arts Council. And so they had this whole thing. They're like, well, every year we put up our banners, the same banners for Arts Festival Week.
Right.
And it was kind of a grandfathered thing. We got permission and all that. So I kind of started asking questions. So when I was doing the film festival, I said, hey, can we do banners too? And here we are. We have a policy now. Because it was our 20th anniversary. So it's generally just been that 20th anniversary for that. The hospital anniversary we did so.
Right.
And I think the Wine Festival as well. It's just been basically their logo and celebrating 20 years or whatever it is. So that's where it's been. They wanted to make sure that we have parameters on it now, which is good. We get all the applications in and take a look at it and pick 3.
As far as enforcement, do you give a license, but it still needs to be enforced.
Oh, absolutely.
So how is that? Who does that, and how does that all work?
It's a combination. If you're talking about the restaurants, it's really working with myself. I work very closely with the fire chief and building department, health department. We all work together.
Right.
Basically, that's going to be the group that's really involved in most things. They all have their own inspection things. For instance, at Stroll this year, the big thing has obviously been occupancy and fire safety and things of that sort. So Chief Murphy and I went around the week prior to and just went during the day and talked to everybody. Went and talked to them, put together some regulations. We did a one sheet now for folks because a lot of people didn't know live trees or live things weren't allowed at the holidays. Things of that sort. So we've been kind of doing walking around talking to people in person kind of thing, and doing inspections. They do inspections all the time, just taking a look.
The occupancy thing is still
it's being worked through.
Right.
Because historically numbers have not been correct, or they've been different in that one restaurant will have something that says 40 seats, but that's not really bodies. We're talking about humans. How many humans can fit in this space and get out safely?
Right.
That includes people who are working there, whatever it is. It's going to depend on space, what you've got in that space, exits, floor load, whatever it is, the formula. So they're going through each place and looking at that. And, it just hasn't kept up to what the regulations are. Each room should have an occupancy. Some folks have a building occupancy and they clear out the restaurant and suddenly think they can have all those people in one room in a bar. It doesn't work that way.
And I'll tell you, you've got to stay on it, because that's the last thing we need is something tragic like you saw in Russia.
As Chief Murphy says, it's fine until it's not.
You got it.
And we'd all rather be in the headlines right now for being difficult than having someone say, well, you should have known or you should have taken care of this before
and
someone
noise.
died.
That's another issue,
It is.
But you got to expect some of it in the summertime. And
when you live
people
downtown,
are letting off steam.
I live near the Lobster Trap downtown, and they were loud, but I live downtown. So I'm like, you know what? I chose to live here.
Exactly.
So it's that one's a little bit tougher.
Right.
But people don't like noise.
No.
And you get to find out who. But
I know who doesn't like noise.
But most people, and I'll say the majority of folks, want to comply. And if we have a problem, we talk it out, and they're generally, yep, I get it, Amy. We'll make adjustments. I don't want to bring the hammer down on anyone, but if they're gonna, play around with people's safety, then we will. It's just I'm not going to oversee something like that happening. So that's why we've kind of taken it.
What about signs and those kinds of things? Like, do you do that too?
Well,
or
no.
That's more HGC stuff,
It's HGC, but we work together on that because certain things in restaurants and stuff like that would
the
liquor
signs out front, all the extra signs.
We have been working with them because we are at the end of the day the end of the licensing process. You need to have your health inspections, your building inspections, and I've talked to them about understanding the COA, Certificate of Appropriateness. You need to have, which includes, I believe, 2 signs, and then if you have anything additional, you need to have additional documentation for that. So the scourge of the island is the A-frame thing. Like you have to have it against the building, sandwich boards, and it was hard for me because I tell one person, look, this isn't right. Well, what about him? It's all day long. But what about him?
Exactly.
I'm driving there next.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, we're just trying to be consistent.
Yeah, right.
I've been having a problem. There's one thing I'm trying to tackle this summer is the display of merchandise downtown in stores. We have town code, town regulations that you can't really be hanging clothes outside on the door. You can't be selling things on the sidewalk.
Right.
Some people say, well, I own this part of the sidewalk. But it can be seen from the sidewalk, and people just aren't playing that game anymore.
You can't put it outside the door.
It can't, you can't be hanging, some folks hang clothes outside,
on the door.
Put a table out on the door.
They'll open the door, the door's outside, and it's hanging on the...
And some have little fixtures outside, and it's just becoming to the point that it's just...
Right.
Either we just say, whatever, do what you want, or we pull it back and keep, the kind of downtown we want.
But that's not your job, though, is it?
It
really?
kind of, sort of
is?
I get the phone calls. So
you probably get the phone calls from the people across the street, from the businesses that see it.
And the businesses that are complying. Yeah, the businesses are complying. Like, look, again, like I tell people, Coney Island's on the other side of the cliff. You want to go? Fine.
Right.
I'll push you all down, and I'll see you later.
Right.
But what I'm going to try to do is be consistent and keep what is Nantucket. Trying to allow these businesses to come and grow and thrive, but not take from what makes Nantucket special.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very hard line. Someone said to me the other day, we were talking about how addition is subtraction. We keep adding on and we're taking away from what we really are.
Yeah.
And I would say that's the one thing that's kept me. It's like, if I'm going to work this hard, I want it to mean something to someplace that's been very special to me.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, I'm close to just saying,
oh, Amy, don't do that. I remember when I first got here, I almost left too, and the guy said, don't leave. Don't leave yet. Give yourself a little more. But you're an important position, and we appreciate you.
No, thank you.
I'll tell you, that means more to me than the money. If I'm appreciated, I'll go the extra bit. But if I feel like I'm not being appreciated, I will leave.
Yeah, internally I am, and the people I work with, Libby and Greg.
And you're in a good. You like where you work. You like the guys here, so that's a good thing.
They're just really good people, and
maybe I'll put a good word in for you. We'll give you a few more bucks. How about that?
No, it's not that. It's I'll say to folks is sometimes if I have a hat on and earphones at the grocery store, I do not want to chat. If I'm in the locker room at the gym, I don't want to talk about it.
You're accosted all the time.
All the time.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Of course you would be.
I'm getting in the shower.
Hey, can I ask you about?
No, seriously.
I got this thing that.
I'm like, you see this as a shower? I'm at the gym. I'm going into it.
When you go to the Stop and Shop, you got to be there like at 10 or 11 at night.
I've heard, and I always forget something. I'm like, okay, some days I'm fine, but some days it's hard because I can't even go to a restaurant. It's not like I can go to the next town.
Gosh.
And there's always something, and I love everyone. I don't mean it, but sometimes
Sure you do.
It's just like, Amy, why can't we do this? I don't know. I just do it. It's fine. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm betting he came to see me, but he'll call back.
So what do you got going the rest of the day?
Oh my God, I don't even remember.
It's just a stack of stuff.
It's
This is your busiest time right now, right?
I don't think it ever. No? We don't have a quiet season anymore.
Not? Okay.
Because we all work together. Like when the emergency stuff happens, we all work together on that. So this winter was really busy. I moved to vacation because so much was going on.
Oh my gosh.
But it affects everybody. But we just kind of work on it as a team, no matter what comes up.
Yeah.
So it's good that way. But I'm gonna go try to save the world, and
you keep it up. All right.
I'll tell you my favorite phone call this week.
What?
Some guy called to ask me what permitting he needed for his daughter to set up lemonade stands downtown.
What did you say?
I haven't called him back yet. I get that every year, and I got kind of beat up last year because some kid was selling T-shirts. Yeah.
Can't do it.
No.
No way.
No, and I got beat up on the kid that was selling T-shirts on the beach last summer. I said he forged a permit and stuff. If I let him, then guess what?
He forged a permit?
Oh yeah. He said he had a permit and everything, and he made it because I didn't give him one.
Jeez. But you know what kind of T-shirts they were? I mean,
like Nantucket T-shirts or something, and I'm
young kid, like a little kid,
like 14.
Yeah, okay.
And that's why I left I left the Facebook Nantucket group because I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, because if I let him, guess what?
Gosh, you know what?
It is just a torrent. You have no idea.
I can imagine the old job you did as an event coordinator.
Right.
This really does make sense, though, Amy. I mean,
it does
fit well together.
It does. I would say my experience lends itself to it, and it's fine, and I don't mind it. But just again, hat, earphones.
Leave me alone at the Stop and Shop.
I just need to get home.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you so much.
That was fun.
That was great.
Wasn't it?
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
It was like therapeutic.
Yeah, good. All right. So you got the word out.
I did. Thank you so much.
All right, Amy.
Good to see you.
Good to
see you next meeting.
You got it.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.